my God, it's so great to be back, to be doing stuff like this for a show that's back to life again. It's back from the dead.
Can we lovingly call Star Trek Prodigy Star Trek Frankenstein?
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent. Cool. Okay, we coined that here. That's our thing.
Someone coined, they go, Netflix might become your Lucille Ball. And I'm like, you're right. They might become our Lucille Ball. Yeah. Brought us back to life.
Oh, I like that one.
I know,
like
right?
that.
Right.
I'm really annoyed I can't take credit for that.
Can't take credit for it. You can say it, but you can't take credit.
You can take credit for it. You just might get some blowback.
I don't know. Internet person gets blowback. It will be the headline of the year. You know. First thing I want to say, it's lovely to see you again.
Yes.
And I'm glad that this year didn't just wipe you out altogether.
Well, thank you first off for being massive supporters for our show and getting the word out. Like, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, you guys, the fan support.
Both.
You know, it was such a challenging year for us and our entire crew, and to see the fan support, it just totally kept everything alive for everyone.
Like, it's been, like we'll get into it really quickly in a second, but it's just been so lovely to see. And one of the things that's been fun for us, like, you know, we love the show, it's great crack and everything, and it just happened to coincide with Ellie's frankly psychotic obsession with Captain Janeway. So the two things just married perfectly.
Yeah. When did the idea come from, like, dressing up as Janeway? Because I mean, you do look so much like hologram Janeway in a way. I don't know what it is, but like, you're like, this is.
I don't know. I honestly don't know where it came from. I think one day, I mean, I dress in vintage style quite often anyway. So I was just like, one day, I'm going to try that hairstyle. And it just stuck. And then I started watching it and was like, oh, I like this character. I'll dress like her more.
Have you ever met Kate before?
No.
It's intimidating.
Very sad.
She's great.
First one's intimidating. Second one's great.
It's gas. I've been to, like, where she was doing talks at panels and everything, and you're just like, I can talk the wings off a fly, and I think I would be tongue tied talking to Kate.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm email tied. I have to send back an email. And I'm like, I cannot match this level of eloquence.
Sometimes, like, her email comes and I'm like, this feels like she hand wrote an email to us. You know, it felt like you should put the time and the thought and the care. And anyways.
I tell you what, though, this leads me quite nicely into the question that I was going to ask you. So let's move into it. Yes. Obviously, I know you can't really talk too much detail about season 2, but even for season 1, what was it like for you two to write for such an iconic character, to write the older version of Captain Janeway?
It's intimidating.
I think the whole room felt the importance of it. I think the whole room, we had a lot of big Janeway fans. And even Dr. Erin McDonald, I remember she was our consultant, and she didn't know what her show was about. And she walks into the room and she has a Voyager tattoo on her arm. And we're like, we're going to play with Kate Mulgrew. What's that?
I was going to say, and remember, like, when we first started, we had the writer's room. It was hologram Janeway. That's who we were doing. So it felt a little safer. It wasn't the real, it was a holo program of her, right?
Yeah.
But we did, like, I think even in our early pitch, Dan, we always had.
Yeah, we had the real Janeways after them.
We were like, how great of a villain, but it's the real Janeway is hunting them down. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then we were excited by that concept, and then you start brainstorming it, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, now we're dealing with Janeway for real. Like, where is she today? And what? Let's not screw this up. So then
it's interesting. It's like you have these fun, like, sandbox ideas, like, wouldn't it be great? But then you're like, oh my gosh, but Kate Mulgrew is a real person. Is she going to be someone who's going to even like the show? Is she going to be someone who's going to be standoffish? Will she even want to do this? And again, when Kevin and I first met her, we've told this story. We sit down and she's like, all right, boys, what are we drinking? And I'm like, right then and there, I'm like, this is like my dream scenario.
I love you.
Yeah. And I think, and so every time we're in the same city, we try to get dinner together. And it's honestly some of my favorite times, some of my favorite conversations. We've walked the cities of London, just laughing our asses off. I don't know, we've had so many great experiences with her. So I'm so proud of our crew and everyone. And I think it starts top down. Like, I feel like Kate is just an amazing actress and a leader. And she's someone we're so proud to have on our team.
We were thinking as well, like when the show was originally being put together, like knowing it was going to be Janeway mostly centric, the temptation must have been so tough to just do Voyager season 8, but you didn't do that. And with the fan reaction that you've seen, you know, has that temptation gone up or has it gone down? Or like, is there even a temptation to do that? Or are we just completely moved away from the Voyager arc?
I think you'll see in season 2, while there is, you know, it's been announced that Robert Picardo and the Doctor's coming back. You'll see there's even larger surprises coming it's not tied to Voyager, right? So it was never meant to be, you know, some sort of a Voyager, you know,
It's an on-ramp to Voyager. It's an on-ramp to Star Trek.
But when you write,
it happens to have a lead character who has a lot of relationships.
Yeah, when you're writing a character, you're writing about the relationships and about the person, and suddenly, like, having the Doctor there meant something, and it's, you know, so yeah, and then we're still waiting for Chakotay, right? So thank God we weren't canceled, because my gosh, that would have been the biggest carrot in front of Trek fans.
JC shippers would have been like,
yeah, they would be like, "What the heck, Hageman?"
Town. Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that's going to continue.
Yeah, there's some good stuff to come, guys. It's going to be good.
I tell you what, though, it is so exciting to have the Doctor back. I mean, speaking for myself and Seán, that was so hard to keep to ourselves. How has that been for you, keeping that secret? Is it a sigh of relief now you can finally talk to people about that?
2 years now, we've probably known, you know?
Yeah. Kevin and I are such like blabbermouths. We want to talk, so it is hard. It's like, I think like anytime we saw you, we're like, "Oh, can we tell you stuff about what's going to happen in the season?" You're like, "No, don't tell me." Like,
yeah. And we're hoping, like, you know, we always try to keep the secrets as long as we can. But like when Vegas came and when our show was sort of erased from existence,
on the ropes.
We were like, on the ropes, let's do whatever we can to get people to notice, you know.
Paramount Plus had said only a 2-minute clip, and we couldn't find a 2-minute. We either had to reveal Picardo or reveal Voyager 2. And we fought, we're like, you know what? We need 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
We need to see
Gotta reveal
Picardo,
both.
we need to see Voyager 2. We need to show people that there's more out there, and it's gonna, and you know, so I'm so happy they approved that.
Like between season 1 and season 2, you've effectively got 3 hero ships. You've got the Protostar, you've got the Dauntless, and you've got the Voyager A. And I refuse to believe that just, you know, the end of season 1 as it is, that we'll never see a Protostar again. So how has it been balancing having 3 hero ships? Or, you know, obviously how much you want to tell us about season 2? I'm guessing nothing. But, you know, we'll get time on Voyager A. Presumably we get more time in the Protostar. We've got so much time in the Dauntless. How did you manage to balance that without any one of them becoming a cameo?
Well, the Protostar, you know, these ships are characters, right? And so the Protostar is such an important character to our kids and to us as an audience. So we weren't just going to bring back the Protostar after destroying it. That means it meant nothing, right? So we're going to take our time, and we just felt like, you know, with season 2, it was time for them. These kids, they don't have their own ship anymore. They're in the adult world now. You know, what does that mean? They're entering Starfleet, you know, and that's good and bad. You know what I mean? There's good things and bad things that are going to come out of that. And
I think we can tease that. I don't think you'll see the Dauntless in season 2. That's it.
Okay.
No Dauntless.
The Dauntless had its moment.
The Dauntless was like the antagonist ship, right, to our Protostar.
On the hunt for the Protostar.
Yeah.
Slipstream drive, yeah. Star
Trek in general, the tradition is that season 1s are generally the please forgive us, there's more coming seasons of a lot of it. Now, there's plenty of exceptions to the rule, and Prodigy's one of them, right? So ye came out strong, and what's happened is that a lot of the other ones, they got to build and build and build, and then you, halfway through what should have been a victory lap, you were told, all right, wrap it up now, gents. And thank God, you know, Netflix has come along, and that's not happening. How has that been in terms of seeing the fan response and then seeing the outcry to the cancellation and then being able to follow up on some of that? How gratifying or frustrating must that have been?
Oh, it's a roller coaster ride. I think I mean, because I think we have so much faith in the show that we're like, this is amazing stuff. We were really enjoying it. The fans were really digging it. And I also want to put another thing in perspective. You look at like Lower Decks, and they're on their 5th season. And I think
that's it. Yeah, it's definitely in production or something now. Yeah.
And that's like 50 episodes. They have 10 episodes a season. Prodigy's has 40 episodes, so it's not like, even though,
it's labeled as two.
Labeled,
There's 40
really
episodes.
Again, when we started the show, we always had in mind 10 episodes was a season, although whatever factors have changed that. But seeing the ups and downs, our faith in the show has never wavered. We know the town and the industry is going through a movement.
I refuse to believe that we are going to be the most short-lived Star Trek series ever made. I could not wrap my head. I'm like, no, our show is too good for this. We are going to keep going. I had the utmost confidence that it'll find a home someplace. But on the flip side, it's still utterly frightening.
CBS Studios, I mean, they were putting money into season 2, so I think that was the confidence enough to go, they're not spending money to lose more money. That's not the way it works.
We had a lot of people believing in it, and then to see the fan support was just amazing, and it really, I think, kept us and our crew going. Because we felt like a little ship where we all believed in it, but suddenly you couldn't find it on YouTube anywhere and all this stuff. And so to see the fans, though, on Twitter and this and that, it was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was what I was going to say. I mean, the feeling, it must have been so gratifying to see such a response to that. I mean, the banner, we must say, Michelle Stokes is who organized that. And I mean, even I was like, wow, that's just so amazing. I mean, how did that feel for you?
I loved, and I think she just like did it. I love that she's just like, I'll fly a banner. How do you fly it? Who's going to fly a banner? How do you get that made? Or, hey, people chip in. Let's fly a banner right over Netflix.
And on top of that, I remember when all the toys were getting sold out, there was a moment where, like, right after,
the Blu-ray,
all the Prodigy stuff, and I was like, this is amazing. And so this is the first time we've been a part of something like that, and so it means a lot.
I feel like our show on Paramount Plus, because it was the home of Star Trek, we had Star Trek fans finding it, and it took a little bit because they thought it was like a Nickelodeon little children's show, and they go, oh, this is for me too. So I think we have the Trek fans now aware of our show, but I think hopefully Netflix is really we're gonna grab the kids out there all around the world.
I'm going to ask you the question, even though you probably can't answer it, but season 2, 2024. Do we have any idea when in 2024? We've got a ballpark?
Somewhere close to the start of it or close to the end of it, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, just somewhere in between those
we
two.
Honestly, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we honestly don't know.
I know our show will be ready at the end of this year. We'll have finished it. But I know it takes a lot of time for Netflix to do things for different territories and so on and so forth. But I don't know.
Yeah, we're mixing and finishing the animation on the last 3 episodes of season 2, and of course, our finale isn't just one episode; it's a multi-episode finale. This is it for like all 40 episodes, and it is just awesome. But our team is all in the deep of it right now. It's a challenge, but it's going to be good.
I have a much easier question. When do we get season 3?
Yes.
Great.
I want that. I keep thinking, we're Star Trek Prodigy is we're in the footsteps of Star Trek the original series and how it was canceled, and Lucille Ball helped it out and it found new life, and then it had a feature film come out and new life and feature, and so like my hope is if it's a season 3, I would love that. If it's a trilogy of movies, animated films, I would love that. Live action. There's so many possibilities.
I think we said this before, but Kevin and I will not stop until we get a fully little operational Protostar toy in her hand that lights up.
And I'll leave you with this lovely question. What is the biggest tease that we don't know that you're still not allowed to tell us?
There's bigger characters than the Doctor in season 2 that are not Voyager related. How's that?
There's no words.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you so much for watching this abbreviated version of this podcast. Now, if you go to our audio platforms, you will get the full version of this podcast with this guest. So we really, really appreciate you subscribing to that, and you're just awesome and wonderful. Thank you so much.